is up, my people? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy Nassim the Dream. We are back to doing my favorite thing. Summertime is here. Festival season is back.
Okay, let's go.
For this dream experience, I got an episode for you about a brand new festival. You know how it goes. Everybody, welcome Beyond Wonderland, Chicago. One of Insomniac's most prestigious names has made its way to Chicago, and man, do I have a lot of things to tell you about the fest. First, let's get started off with some of the basics. Located right in Huntington Pavilion, Northern Ireland, Chicago, Beyond Wonderland is a strongly dedicated EDM festival, in case you are not familiar. But this is not an ordinary electronic festival, ladies and gentlemen. It is also produced by Insomniac, originating back in Southern California. This festival follows a lot of great themes that make it so unique, that really revolve around the world of Alice in Wonderland. But you can clearly see the direction was really well focused with all these hired characters that walk around the fest that just look absolutely amazing. And I mean, this whole thing was just really on a whole nother level, not only to Chicago festivals, but to other festivals that I've already been to out of the state. You mostly only see this kind of fantasy skill with electronic festivals, but even with comparison to those, this is still one that I feel like really took my breath away. And it already well established its name back in Southern California, so I had high expectations knowing that what it would bring. And man, I felt like they picked so many things that were so perfect about this location. It is absolutely beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. I will say the thing that was really unfortunate about this year, it got rained out pretty bad. And living near the Chicagoland area, I am surprised I have never got to see this park. It is absolutely beautiful, a great view of the city right next to Lake Michigan. I do not think they could have picked a more perfect spot. Some essential things you should know if you were planning to ever attend Beyond Wonderland Chicago. Chicago is a big city, mostly city, no camping, it's just not a possibility, so you're mostly gonna have to really resort to a hotel or an Airbnb if you're coming from out of state. And if you're coming from the suburbs, I will say that transportation is not as easy with the metro. It's not like going to LaSalle with all those locations. You really have to ride the electric line to really make it here, which is doable. But the thing that I felt like was so dumb, and I don't understand why it was a thing, is that the last day, if you wanted to get your ride back home into the suburbs, you have to take the 10 p.m. train, and it ends at 11. So I was like, I have to miss a whole set? No, it's not even worth it. So the point is, if you're coming from the suburbs, if you could drive, you should drive. For their first year, they gave us a beefy lineup with some of the headliners and the big names that were on this list. Goes from Cascade, Diplo, Rez, Tiesto, Timmy Trumpet, and so much more. This festival is made up of 4 stages. We have the Caterpillar Gardens, Cheshire Woods, Mad Hatter's Castle, and Queen's Domain, which is considered the main stage of the festival. Cheshire Woods is very mixed with the future aesthetic of house and dubstep variants. Mad Hatter Castle is just a straight bass junkie heaven. Caterpillars had more of a deep club aesthetic, really keeping it classic to the sound of house music. And then with Queen's Domain, it pretty much has a little bit of everything. With that said, especially taking some of the most popular names in the electronic community right now. Getting into the pros and cons, like I mentioned, with transportation, if you're staying in the city, you're gonna have no problem. It's quite seamless. And like I said, if you're coming from the suburbs, it could be complicated, but if you drive down there, you're gonna find a parking spot easy. It should be fine. For this being a variant of Beyond Wonderland, and also with a brand new location for the first year, I really felt like they did their best when it comes to the art direction. They decorated very well. They had these giant chess pieces around. They had like these giant like train blocks that were decorated and spray painted. They also had this little area kind of leading towards the bathroom. It felt like a trail leading onto the other half. And they had like giant mushrooms around. They had like this big stand up Beyond Wonderland where people usually go by to take pictures. Very quick and rotating set, so once one ends, the next artist is pretty much ready to go. Nightlife is really good, really brings the festival to life. I will say that I'm sure it could have been way better if Chicago wasn't really so strict with their curfew. This festival actually stayed out a lot later than I thought it would. Usually it's 10, but this one stayed out at 11, so I was kind of happy with that. Lots of popular names and lots of good taste in music and great sets that you're going to be seeing in here with this list. And also what I find to be very important, also a lot of great unknown names and certain performers that you may not be familiar with that will blow you out your socks. And for sure, the biggest pro is just the setting and the scope of looking outside of the festival and even inside. It is just so beautiful, way better than I expected, because I knew this would be a small space. And wow, I just thought they did such a great job. It was beautiful. It was nearly just as good as a view as watching the main stage in Lollapalooza and Grand Park. Maybe in ways better. And then of course, no festival is perfect. There's always gonna be some cons. Food options didn't really seem that appealing to me. I didn't really eat anything there, nor did I really plan to. But the moments that I really tried to browse around and see what was there, it didn't really seem all that satisfying. It's definitely some names that I haven't heard before, and then definitely some that are not usually famous for Chicago and the ones that usually attend the Chicago festivals. So usually not too big of a deal to me. I think it would have been better if they had some really, really awesome options. But you know what? I didn't try everything, so maybe there was something that was pretty good. You might find something that was really good. And then from what I heard, VIP just did not seem worth it. I had a couple friends that did purchase a VIP ticket, and from what they were telling me, they were saying they didn't really get the biggest bang for their buck. It definitely seemed like entering was really good for VIP, but it also seemed like there wasn't really that many other options in certain locations for them to watch a certain set that were really that insane. You're mostly purchasing that for space, and they said that they did like one of like the overhead areas near the main stage, but that was mainly because of the rain. So I think it didn't really seem like it was that worth it. Like I said, I didn't purchase it myself, but yeah, that's something. And even though I still love this location, this is technically a con because there is a lot of grassland. If the weather is not good, it is not gonna be fun. I heard some people had fun in the mud, but I twisted my ankle, so I did not have any fun with that. But at the same time, I'm gonna just kind of retract from that because I still like this setting a lot. So I guess it's a gamble that I'm willing to play. Even though a lot was really done well, I hope they maybe take it a step further into bringing more light, even though we don't get that much darkness for that much longer. Still, seeing this light up nearly as much as an Electric Forest or an EDC, or just, you know, at least for that area, it would be really cool, but still very, very nice. But my biggest con so far would definitely be the entrance. Getting in doesn't seem really that efficient to me. It seems like it is if you have a VIP ticket, and I guess that makes sense, but usually for GA and most festivals, even if there's a line, it feels like it moves. There was times where I felt like we were just not moving, and it was just kind of like really tedious. At least at the times that I went around, which was usually around 3 to 4 p.m. Not really fun getting in, and it just took a little bit too long. And for the distance to get inside, I just felt like the wait time, it just didn't really make sense, at least to me. Not to put it all on the staff. I know things happen. I know they just want people to get in safe and sound, but maybe we could be a little bit more efficient. Maybe have more lanes open next time, or figure out a way to maybe have another entrance. But to wrap this all up, without the objectives there, this one is gonna be one of my favorite gems in Chicago to visit. Probably something that I'm really gonna want to be at every year. For a first year, they went really far out. Like, they did so well. Like, it was just way more festive, and especially coming back from EDC literally like 2 weeks ago before this, it really felt like a lot of that really bled into this still, and I just didn't really expect it just because of Chicago's curfew and just because Chicago is a little bit more stricter city. I just didn't really expect it to be that all out, but it was pretty nuts. Very, very nice. Very convenient to walk around. I really thought, I just like the space. It's just like so perfectly sized. It's not like walking all the way from Bud Light stage all the way to the main stage of Lollapalooza. That is a hike. But for this one, not at all. Even if you go from Mad Hatter's all the way across from the Queens domain, which is like the farthest distance, it's not that bad at all. But this is definitely going to be one of Chicago's best festivals, and so far for electronic festivals that I've been to in Chicago, this is king. It's never been better. From Freaky Deaky, Spring Awakening, I haven't been to North Coast yet, and then Heatwave, from what I was seeing from videos and photos, it didn't really seem like it was that much of a competitor. This is definitely king. And especially if you are considering traveling to Chicago and coming to this festival, even though it's a smaller one, if you don't think it's gonna deliver, you need to think again, because it is beautiful. For my official rating, this is getting a B+. Did you get to attend Beyond Wonderland in Chicago, or did you get to attend Beyond Wonderland in Southern California, or perhaps both? Let me know your guys' opinion in the comments. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to help the channel grow. It means a lot to me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm catching you in the next one. Deuces.